Cooks, Mr. Bill, it's an honor to have you here. I will keep you informed of southwest Nebraska whenever possible. And we have had something that is, as far as I'm concerned, never happened in my 70 years of life here in southwest Nebraska. And talking to the old timers that are into their 80s and 90s, they don't remember either anything that like it's happened this year. Of course, we had Benkelman, a fire in the middle of the night, prairie fire. In the middle of the night, come up to the edge of Benkelman. They were able to fight it and defend it, and thank God for the bravery of the firefighters and their equipment to stop the fire from getting to Benkelman in the middle of the night. And they evacuated the town. That's the first time in my lifetime I'd ever heard of anybody evacuating from this area. Now we have multiple fires, but it is bone dry here. It is almost a desert in southwest Nebraska. Ranchers, their grass is almost eat to the ground and nothing growing. No rain, no moisture. And no moisture means that the fields are bone dry, and even if you put your seed in there, which it's planting time, if you put your seed in there, unless you've got irrigated cropland, it's just going to sit there and it isn't going to grow because it has to have rain, and no rain in the forecast, sadly. Yeah, it's a bad thing. Many farmers are going to go down if we're not careful because of that. Drought. It has hit us before. In the 1950s they had some terrible droughts, but they're telling that this is equal to or worse than the 1950s drought out here in southwest Nebraska. And of course what then kicked it up is that we've got winds almost daily that reach 40 mile an hour, and quite often 50, 60 mile an hour winds with gusts up to 80 mile an hour. It's insane wind, and day in and day out. And it'll either blow from one direction or it'll switch and blow from the other direction. It's non-stop. And the least little thing can cause a spark and you've got a fire going. And trying to put a fire out with a wind going 80 mile an hour, it's almost impossible. And again, except for the bravery of our firefighters and their equipment, the quality equipment that they have, they would be in between a rock and a hard place, and there'd be towns burned up. We also had evacuated. Indianola had to be evacuated. Cambridge, I believe, was on standby, as well as Arapahoe had to be evacuated. Bartley had to be evacuated. Numerous towns in the area have been on either evacuated or had to be evacuated for short times while they fought the fires for the safety of the people. And they brought in, of course, a tanker plane, twin-engine tanker plane, and a couple of helicopters to also help fight the fire. I've always said that 3,600 military planes, they ought to pull a few of those off and let them fight fires, rather than just sit there waiting for World War III. Be that as it may, we've been drugged through a knothole this last week, and a lot of people are exhausted. People have lost homes. We're sad about that. And a number of people have been killed by these fires, and that is a tragedy that you can't comprehend. And we pray for the families and injured and property destroyed, and perhaps even farms will be lost because of this, and livestock as well. So this is McCook's Mr. Bill saying we've been drugged through a knothole, and we'd accept any of the prayers coming our way. And I thank you, and I will keep you informed.